And the Samoan Usos are out next. Any thoughts about
I
Samoan Usos?
don't like them
Usos anyway, do you?
I'm not really keen. I prefer them now to where there was.
Yeah, that
Drunk.
Not.
Welcome back to the only wrestling podcast that exclusively rebooks, reviews and reimagines the worst of wrestling's past. We are Better Call Creative, and as ever I'm joined to my right by Jack Chance.
Hello.
And to my left by Sam Chance.
Hello.
And I am your host, Ben Chance, and today's episode...
funny name today.
No, I didn't have time to think of a funny name today. I wanted to do something with booze in it, but...
Boo ready for a standing boovation.
Yes. But if that doesn't give the game away, we are heading back to 2015. And how can you possibly make the same mistake twice in 2 years running? We are reviewing the Royal Rumble from 2015.
Before we start, I don't think they actually made the same mistake. I don't think they actually made the same mistake twice. I think they made a worse mistake this year.
Oh, you think this is worse? This is worse than the
2014. Yeah, this is worse than the 2014 one.
We are heading back to 2015 and the Royal Rumble on the eve of this year's Royal Rumble. So I'll ask you,
I'll take you,
Shaggy Dog. I'll ask you.
I'm trying to do the Hogan thing, but it gives me a headache halfway through.
I'll ask you, Shaggy Dog Sam. Who do you think is going to win the Rumble in 2020? Tomorrow night's Royal Rumble, obviously.
I'd say it's between two. Reigns, which kind of fits.
Who's going to book Roman Reigns to win a Rumble?
But I think it might be a little bit better received this time. Or Kevin Owens. That's who it should be, in my opinion, anyway. Because Daniel Bryan ain't in it, and of course doing double, is he? Because he's fighting the Fiend,
Yeah, it's whether they do a complete swerve and they give it to an NXT person.
Oh, there is that. NXT title main event, WrestleMania.
Well, that's what I mean. Would it have to? It'll have to be on the main card, Jack.
It'll be Roman.
The
way I've anybody else other than Roman win the Rumble this year, I don't think.
The only thing that may have changed by the time you're listening to this is what they do with Brock, because he's on Raw this week. So I assume they'll set up something in relation to who he's fighting for the Rumble, and maybe...
So you've just said that tomorrow night's Rumble, and then you've said Brock's on Raw this week.
Exactly, they're confused. We've still got to catch up with all of those Raws.
Yeah, you're looking forward to Christmas.
Merry Christmas, folks. But yes, we are heading back to 2015.
What are you?
And the show itself coming in front of Philadelphian crowd, the Wells Fargo
one of the
Arena.
Worst crowds to do it in front of.
Can't believe that. Cannot believe
either that or Chicago.
Yeah, it's just nonsensical, isn't it? But the world of 2015, topping the UK charts and the US charts for a long time in 2015 was Uptown Funk by Mark Ronson.
Councillor Murray from Only Fools. Look at Only Fools and Horses. You know the woman in Hero and Villain? That looks like what's his name? Bruno Mars.
The Batman and Robin, the one who's getting mugged.
That looks like Bruno Mars.
Uptown Funk. And in the gaming world, a good game, I don't know that you've played it, Jack, Grim Fandango, who is also, we're going to be talking about later.
Yes, we will.
Grim and Fandango. Yeah, it is quite grim. Have you played Grim Fandango?
No.
What is
it?
Did it, the remastered version came out on the PS4. I would recommend that you play that game. But Jack, I believe you have some options for our poll today.
Yeah. I've got 4 albums, 2 with Royal in the title, and 2 with Rumble.
Mixing it up. You mean we haven't got Ant and Dec, Let's Get Ready to Rumble?
No, but that's spelled wrong. It's got an H in it.
It's got a H in Rumble.
That's how the yeah. That's if you look at the Ant and Dec song, that's how they say Let's Get Ready to Rumble.
That's terrible spelling.
Because they'll say you'll swallow your tongue, God, really. That's what they say.
There's no Ant and Dec in sight. There is Royal Bliss by Royal Bliss.
What are they?
A rock band, hard rock. You won't know any of the bands.
You know, I listened back to half of our stuff, and you said I would try and give people a bit of variety. And then later on, you've got like all rock.
You made that mistake.
Both Thugs.
I was both Thugs.
It all fell apart.
Well, after one song, I listened to the rest.
Yeah, I was just waiting for Crossroads. It would have been on it.
Grim Fandango and Harmony.
Number 2 is Satanic Royalty by Midnight.
They sound Satanic Royalty sounds like it's going to be
heavy metal.
I bet there's a bit of
Satanic metal. The next one is Rumble Shake by Crow Black Chicken.
What?
Like a rock, country rock.
I just like the idea that they were all sitting around the table coming up with a name for a band.
Crow Black Chicken. It's the first 3 things they saw.
Yeah, crow, black crow and a chicken.
And then finally you got Distant Rumble by Danny Vera.
Danny Vera.
Danny Vera.
Vera. Danny Vera. Coronation Street.
He's Dutch.
Okay. Dutch rock. I
It
assume
was
that's,
difficult.
Name rings a bell. That
it's going to be something that Alistair Black listens to, I assume. Dutch rock.
No, rock. It's like Americana sort of sound.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to vote for that. But if you want to vote for it, head over to our Twitter page now, which is at BCCPod, and our website, Better Call Creative, where Jack's reviews are housed, as well as gaming reviews, which you can check out at any time. But now we are ready to... did Ant and Dec say it?
I'm not saying that.
Humble.
Humble.
Jewish Royal Rumble.
Jewish Royal Rumble. Oh, brilliant. But yes, we are ready to rumble with 2015. Did any of you watch the kick... Well, did you watch the kick-off show?
I couldn't find it.
No, it's more on there.
It's on YouTube, the kick-off show.
Was it on the network?
No, it's not on the network. I searched for the
I was
the
looking
network.
for it, but I couldn't find it.
Well, anyone who did find it, you wouldn't have found it on the network, I can assure you. # cancel WWE network. But if you did find it, you would have found that Kofi Kingston and Big E Langston not in true New Day style at this point.
This was first evolvation of the New Day.
Yeah, they didn't beat. They lost to Cesaro and Tyson Kidd after Cesaro gave him a European uppercut. I did watch it, and I can tell you, the Philly crowd loved Cesaro, and therefore mildly like...
Can I just ask, because it showed you a package of what happened.
You get the
Why was Adam Rose and the Rosebuds there for that?
Apparently, originally it was planned as Adam Rose, Cesaro, and Kidd versus all three. But then they wanted to put Adam Rose in, presumably because of the spot. So therefore just pulled him and Woods, which happened a lot. I don't think Woods wrestled a lot around it.
I was going to say, for a while he was
manager.
sort of the manager. I was going to say, was he injured or something? Because I thought he'd have been at least
just always the manager at that point.
So what they've actually booked at this point for the live crowd is a tag match kickoff show. And we open the show. Well, we haven't got there yet because the opening package shows shadowy superstars all hyping up the Royal Rumble.
We'll search for that moment that defines us. My moment.
My moment.
My opportunity. My opportunity. That cements who we are, what we've done.
My dream. My dream.
My legacy.
My legacy.
And where we're going. But this time, there can only be one.
To be the one.
Means you've outlasted 29 others.
It means you've hung on to the very end.
To the very end. It means you stand alone and get to breathe.
The rare. And it means your dream could become a reality. And this reality leads to immortality.
Nazi Betcher. It means you've made it.
Made it to the biggest stage in entertainment.
It means everything.
That's why I will be the one.
Tonight, destiny will be decided for the one.
But you can tell it's in the new modern era where everyone has to say the tagline for "I am the one" or "I'll be the one."
No, that was that was the tagline for the Rumble 2010, and I think they've just used that ever since.
Oh well, yeah, but it wasn't a bad package, and then it goes straight into.
Well, you don't really get that now, do you? With
It's
the
all the
peak.
numbers stuff.
Yeah.
Let us count the ways.
That.
No.
And then we get the promo package picking up pace as it hypes up the WWE World /Universe
It was
heavyweight.
one war at the one
They
title.
just combined everything though, didn't they? WWE World Heavyweight, Cruiserweight, 205.
Yeah.
Narrated by a guy who sounded like he was in Mortal Kombat Deception. The sounds of it.
Deception.
But opening the show in true 2015 style is the New Age Outlaws.
Yeah, what the hell happened there?
Yeah, because for anyone who's wondering why the New Age Outlaws are in a match, they had appeared on the last episode of Raw, which was a Raw reunion, and I think they were in the spot where they get a modern day tag team to get beaten up by the olden day tag teams.
Yeah.
And fulfilling that spot in 2015 was the Ascension.
Dearly departed.
before
They're not
we-
dead, but they've just been released.
Before we get there, did you enjoy the Old Age Outlaws greeny furry hat? that
I
they
don't
come
get
out
what
with?
that was. Was it a chicken?
I thought it was a crocodile. I don't know what that was.
You know what it was.
I have no idea.
Road Dogg was going, hey, look at us. We're getting silly.
Look
Oh,
at-
come on,
look at
Road
us.
Dogg.
Billy Gunn. Look at him.
And this is the first time that I
They
saw
do
the giant head poster of Colt Cabana. Did anyone catch that?
No, I don't.
I saw that.
And we get the Ascension's entrance as we're introduced to the commentary team. Commentary team for our event is JBL, Michael Cole, and Jerry Lawler, who give us a reason for this match. Because the NWO have reformed on the Raw reunion the week before, and now includes the Old Age Outlaws and the APA, who destroyed the tag team. Obviously, it was the Ascension. But at the very least, am I right in saying that this is the only time the Ascension were really relevant, other than being behind Stardust? After they were called up?
Well, you got the Breezango stuff that they did.
Yeah,
Oh,
when
yeah,
they
right, they were
become a
in
bit
the
more of a
fashion
comedy
file.
thing. But at this point, they were saying we're better than
Well, that was
any,
already done, wasn't
we're
it?
better than any
This
team
point.
that had paint.
They were already done at this point. No, this is 4
This was
years
it.
ago.
There was
How
dead
long had
after
they been
this.
called up at this point? Wouldn't
Not
have been
very
that long,
long.
would it?
No, the day really ever run, did they?
No.
It's so weird as well. I mean, not that them, especially
I want to take
Victor.
a chance.
Especially Victor, he doesn't look like the kind of guy Vince is going to want to put out.
I don't
money
know.
on.
They want to take a
Victor
tip from
Elton
Jack
back.
But Connor looks
with
like.
Connor.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Super
he's your
Connor?
boy.
Main event Connor,
Yeah,
in my
main event
universe.
Connor. But yeah, it does seem strange that they just let him fall by the wayside.
And you look what they did in NXT.
Where do we think they'll end up? Nowhere.
Probably Impact.
Yeah, somewhere like that.
Suited
You'd have to
to
go.
Yeah, I was going to say
More than anything.
maybe Ring of Honor because obviously they're a bit shaky at the minute. You know, they'll try and get it, but
I
of
think
course
Impact.
AEW definitely not. And I don't think I'm suited to Japan, so it's going to be Impact or ROH. I'd say maybe MLW if that's still
I
alive.
think that'll be in Willenhall Town Hall. On the old post.
Special attraction, Connor.
Yeah.
Coming to Warsaw.
So, starting out the match is Billy Gunn and Victor. Billy Gunn dominates as the crowd chant, "You've still got it." The thing that annoyed me with
He only
Billy
did
Gunn,
a fucking arm drag.
yeah, he did an
That was
arm
it.
drag. He did also say, "That's all I've got." That's how he's done it.
Yes, we know, Billy.
But what annoyed me the most is that it's not. You know what happens at the end of the match anyway, but he sort of buries them whilst he's talking, you know, and he goes, "Get out of here," and all that sort of stuff. Just why do you need to do that? Road Dogg gets his shit in and does his shaky leg knee drop as Cole reminds us that the Ascension said they're better than the Road Warriors and the Powers of Pain.
and Demolition.
And Demolition, yeah. Any other tag teams that's been painted up in the past that they've said that they're
I
better?
was actually trying to
Blade
think of this.
Runners.
Blade Runners.
Yeah, he should have said anyone with paint.
Anyone with
basically.
paint. Well, you probably agree because one of them was Sting.
Yeah,
so.
no, Victor's definitely better than Road Dogg sells a bit for Victor as Connor gets into the ring. Did you see his unique sort of put his head between his legs and sort of fall over? Head scissors move. He sort of put Road Dogg's head between his legs and just sort of fell. It was like a neck twister sort of
Oh,
thing.
okay.
It's quite cool. And then there's an ugly-looking reversal by Road Dogg as he lands on the head.
There's a lot of ugliness on this.
Of Connor. Billy then gets the hot tag and tosses Victor over the top rope, which then sets up the Fairmaster, but Connor gets the blind tag. And Jack, you'll have to tell me the finish. They didn't say it on commentary, so I don't know what the finish is.
I don't know what I can't remember what it was called.
I
think it was called the Wasteland.
Well, I called it Total Elimination because I know that's what it was called, so that's why I wrote it down
It's
as.
been that long since they hit it, I get a clue.
And I'm not going to do the Joey Styles shite, but
they didn't do it as effective as the Eliminators. They did the real.
yeah, but one of them Perry Saturn.
But yes, so they hit what we will call the Total Elimination, and Connor gets the cover on Billy for a 3. And Jack, we have watched an episode on our podcast where Connor has got a clean victory on pay-per-view.
Wonder how many times that's going to happen.
No. I'll throw to you because of this, Jack. What did you think of that match?
It was bad. I thought it was a crap out. Apart from the little pop that the New Age Outlaws get, it's a bad match to have as an opener because it's quite cold, and the Ascension are already dead anyway, so putting them over the New Age Outlaws, they're really giving them a rub now. So I thought it was a bad match.
Yeah.
It served no real purpose.
So?
It was just to give him a bit of a win after what happened on Raw, right, really. So the right team won, because I was worried when I saw this. I thought,
The right
the
team
Outlaws
won,
But I just don't think... Do you think that this sort of repaired the weeks of that they'd wasted by them coming out on Raw Reunion, getting buried by JBL, who's on commentary, bury them during the match?
The commentary was insufferable throughout the show.
Yeah, it doesn't know me. So I thought it was the right winner, but it's not a hot enough feud for the crowd to really get excited for the rest of the event. Billy Gunn was probably the only person who come out of this match looking any good because he looked kind of okay. The rest of them, you would think, well, Connor and Victor should beat a group of old men who say in their opening package, we're old now and we might die soon. So, if they're saying that all the way through, surely they should just win. And arguably, they actually lost by having to sell to these old fellas for a bit. It would have been better if Connor had come in and just destroyed the living shit out of them. Yeah, but then maybe that wouldn't have worked for the crowd, and I agree with you, Jack. That therefore would lead you to think, well, should this have opened the pay-per-view?
No.
It shouldn't. So, we get a video package showing Cena winning a 3-on-1 match against Kane, Big Show and Rollins. Surprise, surprise. This was to get the jobs back of Dolph Ziggler, Eric Rowan and Sam's favourite Ryback. Would you just left him?
Well, I just said just Rowan. The other two, no. The other two, fine, no.
As they had been fired by the evil authority.
Yeah, but your boy helped him.
We'll get to him. And they had to win matches to qualify for the Rumble, and only Rowan didn't.
I don't get it. I don't understand how nobody can know anything.
Well, let me just make it very clear. Last week, Sting gets in the building. What is he hiding on, somewhere in the top of the arena? Or?
Yeah, here's the thing. Today, 5 people ran up to me today to tell me that Nikolai Volkov had pulled into the parking lot, right? So, that's a big deal. Sting, nothing. I don't hear a word.
Well, I've got to say, that's going to stop right now. Okay, maybe that it worked in WCW, but this is WWE. This is the house of McMahon. Okay, this is the house that my father built, that my grandfather built. We better take care of Sting and anyone else who had something to do with it.
The reality of it is this. This is our house. I'm the one that defends it. He walks in here again and I'm going to destroy Sting.
Hello, Paul.
Hi, Steph.
Can I help you? Because we were having a conversation here, and I don't recall inviting you to it.
Well, I'm not here to cause any problems.
Great, you can leave.
I can take all your problems with me if you want me to, because I'm here to solve your problems. You had a problem with John Cena. As your world champion, I gave you the solution. Brock Lesnar. I have a problem with tonight's triple threat, but that's okay. I have the solution. Brock Lesnar. You have a problem with Sting? I have your solution. Brock
We go backstage now to Am I a Heel, Am I Not a Heel, Triple H, who jokes that it's easier to know whether Nikolai Volkov is here than Sting.
Yeah, that's it. I put Nikolai reference. What? 2015?
It's just typical Triple H, though, isn't it? Where he kind of doesn't want to be a heel, but is a heel.
He's got to be.
Yeah.
Look, we know we like it with NXT, but if you're on the main roster, you're a prick.
Yeah. Stephanie McMahon says this is the house that the McMahons built, and Triple H says he'll defend it. To which,
them even now sprinkling the WCW thing.
Yeah, you know where
dead.
this is going. But Heyman walks into shot and gets a big ECW pop from the Philly crowd.
I wonder why that is.
But I thought his little bit in this sort of saved the promo by saying
Brock Lesnar about 100
Brock
times.
Lesnar is the solution to everything, basically. And he teases.
God, can you imagine Brock v Sting?
Well, he teased it. I can. I'd love that.
That's your
imagine how many Germans he would have to have took. That would have been brilliant. Our next match, though, is the tag titles match between Mizdow and The Miz, in all their glory, who are no longer tag team champions because they lost them around the New Year, and the Samoan Usos are out next. Any thoughts about Samoan Usos?
I don't like them
Usos anyway, do you?
I'm not really keen. I prefer them now to where there was.
Yeah, that was
drunk.
Not
That's the start.
I've just never been a big fan of them anyway, personally, but I prefer the gimmick now to that.
Yeah, well, of course, I mean, this gimmick is...
Then it was too
This is
too
just
much.
the generic gimmick that they have for anyone who is Samoan, isn't it, really?
You're from the islands, hacker. Paint your face.
We get a recap of the Usos picking up the world title win as Miz orders Mizdow down from the top rope and as he's hot dogging for the crowd, which is fantastic. Immediately the crowd chant, "We want Mizdow," and Miz starts out with Jey Uso. The Usos dominate early on, but the crowd is only interested in one person in this match. Mizdow copies the Miz, who gets taken out in the corner, which is a brilliant spot. And the crowd love it. There's nice selling by Jimmy Uso, who goes throat first into the second row.
That was a nasty bump, though.
I don't know whether it was purposeful or not, but it looked bloody good. I mean, it looked genuinely like he was hurt.
I'm going to say, I don't think that was meant to happen.
Miz teases the crowd but dangling his foot for the tag. And Mizdow continues to do his stunt work as Miz is now on top after a neck breaker. Miz once again refuses the tag, and Jey Uso gets the tepid tag. There's a Samoan drop. Miz then hits a spike DDT for a 2. We still get We Want Mizdow's chances. There's a lovely block on Jay's dive. Then Mizdow is used as a human shield by Miz, who eats the Jimmy Uso dive, and then Jay botches his dive onto Miz, to which the Philly crowd were not going to allow him.
What does JBL shout, sir?
Uh-oh, we're about to have us a flying Uso! No, maybe not!
What does he
I'm not repeating it.
Why not?
Because I fucking hate JBL.
What does he say?
He shouts, "There's a flying Uso!"
Yeah.
The Sam Love there.
As soon as I heard it, I was like,
Flying Uso!
this is why I hate doing anything at this point, because JBL is an insufferable prick.
I don't think he was as bad on this myself, but we'll get to that at the end. I thought he is normally annoying. I agree with you, he is insufferable.
Yeah.
I just think he was less insufferable on this one.
I thought Michael Cole was the best one of the three, and even he was a dick.
Back inside, Jay kicks out from the skull-crushing finale. We'll get to that in a minute. Why? Yeah. It's a tag match. Why weaken his finish? Beautiful a super kick and then a splash, but Mizdow blocks the pin. Mizdow then hits the skull-crushing finale on Jimmy, but this only gets a 2 as well. So again, weakens that as a finish. A very, very flat finish, though, as Jay and Miz, they must spend 30 seconds struggling on the top rope for this sort of suplex that's sort of teased. Then eventually Jimmy gets in spot, hits a super kick, which allows Jay to powerbomb Miz, and then a twisting splash by Jimmy gets a 3 count. Sam, how do you first? What are your thoughts on that match?
It was a decent match. Obviously, they did the right thing by not letting Mizdow go in, I think, because this was sort of the end war.
That makes sense.
Leading to Mania, so I thought it was a serviceable match. And as I say, although I'm not particularly keen on the Usos, I'm not saying they're not a really good tag team and they could work.
just not interested.
Just not interested even for me, but it was a good tag title match.
They're no Jimmy Del Rey, are they? You know what I mean?
Well, that's just you, that is. That's just you with Jimmy Del Rey, even Arcos in that one.
You know what's happening on the Birthday Boys episode. Jack?
I thought it was a good match. I thought it should have been the opening. Because he's hot and
true.
Everybody loves Mizdow. I think it's more
and it's
a testament
one of on its 2 title matches, other than the main 3 matches, wouldn't you say, really?
No, I agree.
Yeah, but I think it's a testament to how good the Miz is, really. He's got Mizdow over, he used to get Riley over, he got Brian over, but he would have got over on his own and everything like that. He's been doing it for so long
Miz
that he
is a
gets
better
whoever
heel.
he's with
Miz is a much better heel.
Well, I think they know that.
I do think Miz is a fantastic heel, and don't get me wrong, he's as much.
His stuff
of a
with Shane
reason.
McMahon as a face, I think that worked for him.
Yeah, that's probably as good of a stuff as a face as we've seen.
That's because people don't like fat, sweaty Shane.
But I will say this: I think Mizdow, this is the best you ever see of Damien Sandow. Even when he came in,
because
this is the best. Because he's got a foil.
Yeah,
he's got a reason for it.
Well, it's now different now, is it? With question mark.
The only thing I would say,
roles reversed.
The only thing I would say with that, because I watch a lot of NWA, the only thing I don't like with him is when he does his promos, and now he's got the national championship, and he keeps emphasising the fact that they can say belts. Yes, we get it. WWE don't like belts. Just say belts, but he goes belts, and I just think I want to get through the power and just slap him in the face.
Yeah, he did it in one promo.
No, but he did it backstage as well. That showed it on the recent one when they went back and he said they want to win the tag and then the world and TV or whatever, and he just get belts. I thought, yes, we get it.
My thought on the match, I thought the match was okay. I thought Mizdow was the star of the match. Although I do take your point, actually, come to think of it, Miz did as much work putting the Mizdow character over as Mizdow did.
We'll see it again later.
The psychology of the story was fine because they teased it. I agree with you, keeping him out of the match. That was good. But I did think that the in-ring stuff was pretty sloppy. Certainly from the Usos, it wasn't as crisp as... This is only... Is it before or after they fought Rowan and Harper?
After. That was sort of like Money in the Bank 2014 or something.
It's like, they're not that clean. And I just could not get behind the Miz having his finisher kicked out on by fucking Jey Uso. Makes no sense. And also, the Mizdow sat outside whilst Miz was pinned and didn't get involved. Now, if he'd have sort of like teased he was doing the thing, he was being the stunt double, maybe that would have worked, but it just made him look like an idiot. So I wasn't over enamoured with this match, but I thought it was probably better than the first one.
We have old men in it.
We go over to the kick-off panel now, which is Booker T, Corey Graves, and Byron Saxton, and all of them just get a sound bite basically, don't they?
Them all just cutting a promise. Don't look into the fucking
But they all just say, he could lose and he could win, and they'll probably win. And
this is what happened. Look at it.
Hall of Famer Booker T. We have Byron Saxton, the analyst from SmackDown, and the analyst from the Raw pre-show, Corey Graves. Guys, we've seen a bit already tonight, but what are you looking forward to still to come here tonight?
Well, for me, it's definitely the Raw Rumble match. 30 men enter, 1 man leave. Who will it be? We're going to find out tonight.
I cannot wait for the triple threat match for the WWE World Heavyweight title. Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, John Cena, 3 combustible elements. And remember, Seth Rollins has 2 chances to walk out as champion.
I want to know what kind of mood John Cena's going to be in, because Cena has a chance to tie Ric Flair's record as a 16-time World Heavyweight Champion. But also remember, Brock Lesnar does not have to be pinned to lose the WWE World Heavyweight Championship.
Well, guys, that is all still to come here tonight on Royal Rumble. But earlier on in the night in the Royal Rumble kickoff show, we got to the action right away.
And then we get the recap of the kickoff show. We then go to Joey Mercury and Jamie Noble in the back, and what I could have said as a recent game release, WWE Immortals. Have you played that, Jack?
Yeah, it's free on the mobile. I was
going to say, it's still there.
It's Mortal Kombat, isn't it, basically?
Yeah, because I think, 2015, did Mortal Kombat 9 or the re-release or 10 come out?
They've always done that, though, WWE. They've always had this sort of affinity to doing, like, a fighting game, haven't they? Because they've done, like, the WrestleMania one.
Actually, I think one of the later ones, Johnny Cage, was actually a downloadable one on it.
On the WWE?
Yeah, there's a video where Johnny Cage cuts promo.
We then get the obligatory package for WrestleMania, which is 63 days away.
Yes, and the song made me laugh when it come
What
on.
was the song? I didn't know.
I don't know. It's
Rise by David Guetta.
Yes.
The Bellas now head out for their match. Spoiler alert here. I initially put in kickoff show, and this came up, so I watched it. So I watched this thinking it was the kickoff show, and then during the show it come on again. So I watched it again, unfortunately.
Why?
But we get a recap of Natalya beating Nikki, who is the Divas champion. Is it still called the Divas champion at this point? With Paige's help. The commentary team hype up Paige as someone who has trouble having friends. And Paige and Natalya then head out, and JBL reminds us that Paige is actually younger than the Royal Rumble itself.
Here, which was actually born after the Royal Rumble was created.
There's only one person in the room that's older than the Royal Rumble itself. That's me. But there you go.
Yeah, that's true.
I then saw a Grimsby Town top being held up.
Yes, you saw that a lot. Town. Well, I looked, I thought, that ain't helping shit. And then I saw the group. Oh, it's the Grimsby.
There's a bit of teamwork early on the arms of Nikki Bella. Brie then tags in and eats a stalling suplex from Paige and Natalya. Bit of sexiness from Paige, so we're still in that awkward era where they know it's wrong, but they know that also pops the crowd. So
feel it, do it.
Still do it. I just put this whole match just feels like an advert for the fact that Paige is now on Total
Of
Divas.
course it is. This is a Total Divas match. That's all you got back there.
This spot then is strange as Natalya tags Paige, but like Paige sort of forgets that she's been tagged in, and the ref
I don't think they're meant for it to be a tag, but
because even the commentators say,
does it's a tag?
because
they get through the
tagged,
stick, don't they? Then they get in, and Paige, because they can't think on the feet, she just has to tag right back out.
A stable in this era is a women's botch, as we get Brie kind of reversing a slam by Natalya, but it just looks ugly. I mean, in fact, Jerry Lawler says, "What a move!" I couldn't believe that. Jerry, come on. Nikki now starts to dominate Natalya as they isolate.
Is this when he shouted a catchphrase?
Yeah. Yep.
Like you said earlier, I think the Bellas are just a better team right now, King.
Yeah, because I've just put Brie mode. Fuck off.
Yeah, Brie tags in. And
that means just pissed.
Yeah, Brie mode. There is a nice...
Maybe you wanted Primo and they've just got it wrong.
Primo! No one wants Primo. There is a nice running knee shot by Brie on Natalya. That's pretty much all I can say for the match. Natalya then powers out of her head scissors, and there we get a little tease for a sharpshooter. Natalya tries to make the tag, but Brie pulls Paige off the apron, and Natalya turns around and eats a big forearm smash by Nikki for the 3 count. Jack, you get the honour of telling me what you thought of that first.
It was very good. I mean, it was sloppy, it was bad, it was no point to it. Nikki was probably the best one in the match. She was probably the one who did fuck up the most.
Yeah,
she was the one who looked the best. And it should have been a match where you elevate Paige, because obviously Paige is the one that's over, but...
Well, at Mania, they had another tag match. I think it was Paige and AJ. I'm going to say, where was AJ at this point? Was her injured, or was this at the point where they don't know what it was doing because of the whole thing we pumped the year before and all that?
See, the road agents always get a lot of credit for the divas, like the Finleys and stuff, but I thought the road agent work on this match was appalling. It didn't make any sense at all. It just felt like a flat match, and it was obviously the come down match. It was obviously they'd been sent out there with no storyline advancement. The in-ring stuff was as good as you was going to get, but if, like you said earlier, would you remember this? Will we remember this match in a couple of months?
No. The only reason I actually saw this is because it was either on YouTube or Facebook. Probably YouTube, because you go through and you get the videos, and because it's Rumble, WWE tend to
show you old matches.
And I saw this match actually on YouTube already, and I thought, what? And I saw the Rumble, and I thought, I hope I go watch that. And then it come up, and I went, oh, fucking hell.
But yeah, I just didn't think it didn't put over Natalya, who I assume is almost number one contender. Nikki, it kind of put over, but she sold a lot. It didn't help Brie, and Paige didn't get it.
Did you hear the crowd?
Well, they was fed up, were they? Pretty much.
I was going to say, no, they didn't. It was terrible. They was quiet.
They did pop for the little bit of lesbian action in the middle, though. Which says it all.
Yeah.
That's my point.
Really,
We get an outside shot of Philadelphia, and then we get an old school short promos.
Yeah.
Who's going to be the one?
In 2014, I broke Kane's record, and I eliminated more superstars than anyone else in Royal Rumble history. Cool moment, but it means nothing. The only thing that matters tonight is winning the whole thing. Believe that.
The celestial bodies are in alignment. It's written across the sky. A son of dust has the cosmic key in his grasp.
You got that right, my celestial brother. Tonight, my rise to power will be complete. This match consecutive to a ring. Rollins, Cena, Lesnar. I don't care who the champion is, I will crush him at WrestleMania. This is my year.
His year. I become an even bigger international movie star. He becomes an even bigger international movie star.
And of course, I win the Royal Rumble match.
And of course, I win the Royal Rumble match.
Then I go on to... You mean I win the Royal Rumble match?
That's what I said.
That's what I thought.
Brock Lesnar tried to make me look mortal last week. I'm not mortal. I'm a giant. And right now, I'm an extremely angry, vicious, highly motivated giant. And that's what Roman Reigns and all the other pretenders are going to find out tonight when I annihilate them.
Do you understand what's at stake here, mi amor?
The spotlight will soon be ours. The roster underestimates the sheer power of the tango. They will learn soon enough, and the spotlight at WrestleMania will be ours.
El último hombre de pie es Fandango.
Last year, the Authority kept me out of the Royal Rumble match, and I still fought my way into the main event of WrestleMania and won the WWE Championship on the grandest stage of them all. Do I think I can do the whole thing all over again this year?
There's gonna be a fight tonight!
Yes! 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 Yes!
Roman Reigns starts off, tells us he believes he will win. Then Cody in his Stardust gives a promo with Goldust.
What happened to that man?
I don't know. Who Goldust? Russian Rusev promises to crush. Miz cuts a promo with Mizdow doing the stunt double bit, which is definitely the best promo of the bunch. Big Show reminds us that he's a giant. Fandango tells us that the roster underestimates the power of tango. And Daniel Bryan says last year the Authority kept him out and he still made it to WrestleMania, and this year he thinks he'll do it again. And then we get a thank you to Danko Jones, who did the theme song, which is there's going to be a fight. There's going to be a fight tonight. There's going to be a fight tonight.
Probably in the stands with the fucking wrestling.
It probably was, huh?
We get a package then, hyping up the triple threat world title match. Brock's dominance sets plan B, and Johnny's overcoming the Authority at the high points. But I did think the package was quite good.
One of the better ones, yeah.
And then straight into the match, John Cena's out, and the Philly crowd show their love with a John Cena sucks ringing out. An angry Brock face on the poster.
I bet you was going, I love this crowd.
Yeah.
They can say what they want.
In fairness, I don't think he played up that cheesiness as much in this. He didn't do that.
Not in this match.
No, he wasn't doofy Cena.
No, Seth gets a big pop from the crowd because they love the heels, obviously.
See you in 5 years, see if that happens again.
Yeah, well, it's Philadelphia, isn't it? If you are a heel, you will get cheered in Philadelphia. That's what happens. And then Brock and Heyman get a good reaction, but I do think that's probably down to Heyman.
Yeah, I was going to say, if Brock come out on his own, maybe not. Although Brock, yeah, I was going to say, at this point...
am I right? I've got this in as part of my thing, but 2014/2015 is the best Brock Lesnar has ever been.
Well, they even slightly moved Taker, they later on in the year.
It's just brilliant. And this...
After he beat Taker,
I know he always...
kicked him in the dick a lot. That was leading up to Hell in the Cell, wasn't it? And that was trying to turn Taker heel because people like Brock, but not as many people were booing Taker.
Kick him in the dick, Taker is still better than Bugger Red.
Oh, bloody snot.
But yeah, I think as well, and I know he always looks in good shape, but he almost looks in the best shape he's ever been in this match. He looks ridiculous.
Did he have his beanie hat on so he looked about 10 times bigger?
I can't remember, but he does look... he just looks like a beast. Lillian gives Lillian gives us the big match introduction for all three. Then Seth bails out and a German suplex to Cena straight away. Is this straight after SummerSlam Cena where he
it's the Suplex City version?
But he didn't say Suplex City yet until Mania when he fought Roman, was it? That's where that was born. But obviously he did keep doing it anyway at that point.
So we get there's an amazing spot where Brock goes for an F5 and then the J&J security block it, so Brock just German suplexes them both. I mean, he literally Germans them as well. It's crazy.
You can only do that with two little people, two little men. Good old Noble.
I must admit, the road agent working is brilliant. I mean, Brock just completely dominates the early part of the match.
Seth being the coward, going away and letting Cena tackle
exactly. The suplexes by Lesnar are shown over and over. The one that they show on Seth looks like it really
it kills him.
Yeah. And then Super Cena powers out of the Kimura lock and Rollins dives onto both of the men with his knees. Cena
looked like he actually whacked Brock though.
Oh yeah. Well, Brock can take it, couldn't he?
I don't know, because
he saw what happened with Braun.
Well, he did that. Stop it.
Cena and Rollins now double team on Brock, and Cena hits the AA. Rollins tries to steal a pin, but only gets a 1, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that, eh? Can't even do sell it.
How pink is Brock at this point?
Man.
I'm going to say, you know how gassed he is because he gets salmon pink.
He does love a bit of gammon, doesn't he? Brock then clears the ring. This work makes Brock look completely unstoppable. Cena does his normal moves of doom, but Brock gets in to hit a German to stop the 5-knuckle shuffle. Rollins then knocks Brock...
I got booed.
Well, yeah, he's always going to get booed though, weren't he?
Definitely in Philly,
Rollins then knocks Brock outside and eats a nice sit-out slam from Cena. Rollins then hits a top rope diving neckbreaker on Cena, but Brock is back in to break up the pin. Another amazing spot where Lesnar catches at a springboard in Seth mid-air. Yeah. He didn't even look... He
stumbled a bit, but he managed to catch it, because I was thinking, don't drop it, don't drop it.
He's like 18 stone worth of muscle diving out, and Brock just goes, yep, that's me done. It's like,
that's
what?
it.
And it's an F5, which is gorgeous, but Cena gets in to break up the pin. The announce table spot is now set up as Cena dismantles the Spanish announce table. Inside, Cena hits 3 consecutive AAs, but Seth breaks up this pin. Now inside, a curb stomp by Seth Rollins, and Super Cena hits the ring to break that up. The crowd are really into this. Cena then charges Brock through the barricade, and Brock just basically gets straight back up and
I'm not telling this shit.
So Cena hits him, throws him into the steel steps, then hits him with a steel step, and Brock is out on the table. So Rollins hits a diving elbow through the table, which
very nice diving elbow.
And got a holy shit chant. Back inside, there's a straight kick by Seth, which gets a 2. Cena then hits a sit-out powerbomb for a 2. Did you enjoy the sit-out powerbomb? Not as good as the standing
the pop-up one?
Yeah.
I don't know. He don't sit out, he'd be alright. I don't know, I much prefer the normal ones than the sit-out powerbomb.
Heyman wants a doctor to see to Brock as Rollins hits a powerbomb of his own, but this into the corner, the one that retired Sting. Cena reverses the curb stomp into the STF, and then J&J break up the submission. Seth hits a Shield style powerbomb, but only gets a 2. Brock is being loaded onto the stretcher outside, and Cena tosses Seth outside. Cena then hits a double AA onto the J&J security, but Seth gets in. He eats an AA of his own, but for a 2. The crowd are completely in their hands now. Rollins and Cena trade blows, which culminates in Seth hitting the curb stomp, but even that only gets a 2 count. Rollins then gets desperate and goes for the corkscrew moonsault. And Super Brock Lesnar, I don't know, but Super Brock Lesnar, who's got a busted rib outside, has got up.
Come in.
Get in. German suplex on both men. Seth finally manages to block the suplex and uses the briefcase. He sets up the curb stomp, but Brock reads it and hits an F5 of his own onto Seth Rollins, and that is all she wrote. Before we get to our ratings, I will tell you that Mr. Meltzer gave this 4.75 and it is one of his top 10 matches of the last decade. So, Sam?
So not worth a 5?
No, not quite worth a 5. No.
You're a dick, Meltzer.
Sam, thoughts on it?
It's one of the best triple threats they've done, and I can see why. Looking back at it, that it was right. What they've done, get Brock out for a bit, and obviously he ain't going to do too much for his money, but that's just Brock.
He did a lot.
He did a lot.
He went through a barricade, a table. Bloody hell, Sam, what do you want?
No, but because of the way Brock was being presented at the time, it was the right thing to do. Get him out, and then you can have the two ones who can work. Because in all honesty, Cena can't work.
Yeah.
Particularly with the right people. That did all the right thing, and then Brock just come in and go, nah, fuck this, and I'm winning. And that's it. I would have given this 5.
Yeah, I thought I can't. My
this is match of the night.
I've put brilliant triple threat match. All 3 men shone. The work to put over Brock as a monster in this match is unbelievable. And then Seth looks good. Cena even turned the crowd in his favour when they wanted him to win at one point. Even J&J, I thought they did well in their little bits.
They can.
I just
take
thought
the bumps
it was just a brilliant match. Jack, do you want to agree or do you want to shit on it?
No, I thought it was probably the best match apart from the Rumbles that they've ever had at a Royal Rumble pay-per-view.
I'm going to say, if you take the Rumble matches out, that's probably one of the best total matches.
Apart from,
Yeah, maybe you could say Triple H and Cactus.
Triple H, Shawn,
they have had quite a lot of good matches, really.
That's
Cena,
them and the 2 matches though for the Rumble. They'd say got the Rumble, he's got the title match.
It's Brock's best match since he's come back.
By a mile.
Probably one of his best of all time.
Yep, by a mile. I just thought the work in this match was because obviously at SummerSlam he just destroyed Cena, which was good enough in itself, but obviously
it was shocking.
Exactly. The fact that they kept going on about the Plan B and the fact that he utilised it in the match and all that, it was just tremendous work. Absolutely tremendous work. I thought that this is one of the best matches we've probably ever seen on our reviews.
Which makes a change. We usually look at shit.
We now get the annual Let's Ignore Chris Benoit package as the numbers package is played.
Many people have won the Rumble at number 1. If they have at number 30. One of them is Shawn Michaels.
The plan.
Who's the other one? Tell us.
The plan apparently for this match was a 40-man Royal Rumble because it got quite good ratings and reviews in 2011. They planned the 40 one because they wanted a lot of the ECW alumni to be involved, so the Sabu and Tommy Dreamer and stuff. But they contacted a few and
who's the one in the... the one that when we did the Sandman in 93.
Tommy Cairo.
Yeah, Get Tommy Cairo. Get Tommy Cairo. What is it? I fix cars. Imagine that.
Well, I can't imagine.
In all honesty, though,
I don't want him to win. How do you know he ain't a special entrant in my rebooking later?
Well, you're all right.
He might win it. Maybe it should have been Triple H versus Tommy Cairo at WrestleMania 31. I'm defending the House of McMahon from Tommy Cairo. We'll go to the Royal Rumble itself because, as someone who knows the numbers and knows when people enter, did you see or spot the weird quirk of the number 1 entrance being The Miz?
No, I didn't.
Well, the last 6 number 1s have been CM Punk, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, CM Punk, Dolph Ziggler, and with this one is The Miz.
Ooh.
So the last 6 number 1s have been 3 men.
Spicing the Jericho before the public.
So yes, the number 1 entrance
Ooh,
is...
I shall add that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But the number 2 entrance is the man that time forgot. It's R-Truth. He looks exactly the same in 2015.
It's just his hair's not like halfway up his head yet.
His hair hasn't moved back slightly.
Not yet.
Former tag team partners, which I don't think anyone referenced.
No, I could have said the awesome truth. I could have said so because I mean it wasn't that far off.
R-Truth asks Philly what's up, and we're off. Even start to the match, and as number 3 is ECW alumni and making his debut in the Royal Rumble, Bubba Ray Dudley, his first and only appearance.
Yes,
in the Royal
it
Rumble,
is. Yes.
Crowd love it. R-Truth takes the role of the Black Dudley. It's we get the table.
I was going to say, imagine if it was Snot Dudley instead of Bubba.
And we get the...
oh my God, it's Snot!
All the hits are out as Bubba Ray Dudley then eliminates both R-Truth and Miz, where one of them's off camera, I believe. Is it R-Truth?
I think it's R-Truth.
Well, number 4 out is Luke Harper, no longer with the Federation. Yes. Jerry Lawler says this is the most unlikely pairing he would have ever expected, so I've put it obviously is more unlikely than Recon and Battle Cat. Next in is Bray Wyatt.
What two?
Well, that just made me laugh. I just thought, it can't be the most unexpected
This
pairing.
is Jerry Lawler, because even in this he had some weird jokes.
Yeah. Next out is Bray Wyatt, the current world.
Not quite destroyed. He's got a few dents, but he's not quite destroyed yet.
They do good work with him in this.
They're doing this.
The crowd hush and the Fireflies are out. We want Devon chants. How many times have we heard that? We heard it in the Tommy Dreamer match, the TNA one, didn't we? When he fought Bubba.
Yeah, that's true. I thought that actually. I put We Want Devon. I thought, I'm sure we've heard that before. And I thought it might be like on a SmackDown game or something.
Yeah, well, it won't matter anyway because Bray gets rid of Bubba. Next out is Curtis Axel, and Rowan attacks him from behind, stealing his spot, leading to the best gimmick that Curtis Axel ever had in his career.
Yeah,
all 3 Wyatts are now in the ring. Rowan and Harper tease attacking Wyatt, but Harper betrays Rowan, and Bray eliminates both men. Out next is the Boogeyman, wearing like a Tina Turner wig.
I'm going to say, yeah, weird head, eh?
Bray does his backwards crab and then disposes of the Boogeyman easily. The future Wolves manager Sin Cara at number 8. There's a sister Abigail and he's eliminated. Bray again is alone and cuts a promo and then does a sing-song with the crowd.
Open invitation! Everyone in the back, I hope you got the message! This is Bray Wyatt's year! He's got the whole world in his hand. He's got the whole world in his hand.
Next out at number 9, getting a big pop for his return, is Zack Ryder.
Yeah, I didn't realise that. I knew. I had a feeling he'd come out because I was sort of coming together. Because you know me, I've probably watched all these Rumbles now end of times, and I got a few right, and then I thought, well, I'm pretty sure Ryder's next, but I don't think it was his return.
But he gets a bit of offence, but gets eliminated pretty much straight away by Bray. Number 10 out is Daniel Bryan to a absolute
this
mega
is probably the pop of the night.
There's running kicks and a huge Hurricane Rana off the top. Number 11 is Grim Fandango.
Best Fandango. I prefer this Fandango.
Salsa Fandango.
Yeah.
I prefer it to Injured.
And I was actually
more main event.
It's more main event, and I was thinking this.
He's one of the ones who's sort of focused on.
Yeah.
He's
well, he was.
I liked his theme slightly better, the slightly tweak on it, and I was thinking this when I was watching this. You look at a lot of the gimmicks now, they're all just wrestlers. Whereas Fandango, you could say, is similar to sort of like Honky back in the day. Whereas it's a gift.
At least you've got
a
gimmick.
It's Honky level.
People, not that level, but you know, it's similar to it.
Greg never.
No, but
what was his gimmick?
No, but I guarantee, say in 10 years' time, people are going to remember Fandango more than fucking Tyson Kidd or something.
Who is number 12? Next out is
Tyson. Sorry, I don't.
Yeah, nice lead in. The crowd aren't nearly as hot for Tyson Kidd in this match as they were when he was next to Cesaro earlier on. There's a nice spot though where Kidd and Bryan sort of match each other up, and they are doing a good job of trying to put Tyson Kidd over at this point.
Yeah, I was going to say they did do a bit with him, don't they?
Making his debut in the Royal Rumble, Stardust. Is that true? I mean,
bollocks.
Yeah, Cody's been in the Rumble before.
I'm sure.
But yes, Stardust is making his debut. It's the gimmick. Stardust and Fandango trade skin in the cats as Tyson Kidd is eliminated by Daniel Bryan. Yep. JBL reminds us of Mil Mascaras eliminating himself.
He's the only idiot to eliminate himself. Or one of the only idiots to eliminate himself.
Yeah. Well, Macho Man did and got back in. DDP is out as our entrant number 14, getting a pop. There's a diamond cutter on Stardust, top rope one on Fandango, and then shockingly, Bray Wyatt sells the diamond cutter. I couldn't believe it. Number 15, waving the Russian flag, is the Bulgarian Rusev. He quickly tosses out DDP and Fandango. There's a nice tease of Bray Wyatt versus Rusev, which I assume at the time would have been a bit of a fantasy match for people, I think. The shocker of the match so far, and this pretty much is where the match ends, is where Daniel Bryan is tossed over by Rusev, manages to hang on, battles away, but Bray runs into him, charges and knocks Daniel Bryan out of that. And now the realisation comes across the crowd that there's probably only going to be one winner now.
Yes. and there's always the conspiracy, because who's next?
Yeah,
who comes out next, and what comes on at the start? Shattered Dreams.
Goldust is out 16, but the boos are already audible. Stardust tries to eliminate Goldie, which does pop the crowd a bit, but not long enough for a Daniel Bryan chant to start
there's
to
a
go
lot
up.
of Bryan chants.
Even Kofi gets a boo at number 17. And Kofi in the Rumble. Everyone gets excited when they see Kofi in a Rumble.
Even at this point, even though he's a heel...
Kofi gets a bit of shit in, and number 18 is Adam Rose. Adam Rose comes out with the rosebuds, which JBL shits on.
comes out with no Jose's conga light.
And I must admit, Kofi doesn't do him any favours, because he literally dives out of the ring.
He don't make any rope, does he?
He makes sure he has to catch him, but the rosebud catch him, but they do forget to catch Adam Rose, who is out after about 20 seconds. You can't trust a man who dresses up as a hot dog, is probably the line of the lot. From JBL. As Kofi is then eliminated because he's done his spot by Rusev.
That's it. All you got to do with the Rumble, because I think it happened 2019, and it's probably happened since. Kofi, he does his spot, and then he's going to go out. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all. Unless he's going to win it one day.
Has he ever got to the proper latter parts of the Rumble?
No, he's just he's there to replace Morrison and Shelton, but both of them are in it now. So do you think we'll get all three do a spot at the same time in 2020?
We'll do it instead.
That would be brilliant. Number 19, someone called Roman Reigns enters through the crowd.
That's the biggest boom he's ever had.
Yeah, they know. Roman manages to take out both Goldust and Stardust. Big E is out at 20, and I've just put the New Day. It's just not the New Day. Even Big E looks like, oh god. What
are we doing?
Yeah, but Mizdow manages to pop the crowd.
I'm going to say
slightly.
there is a few times where the Daniel Bryan chants do go away, and there's chants for others, but this is definitely one.
Yeah, number 21 is Mizdow. Miz comes out though, tells him he's taking his spot, but Mizdow goes, nope, I'm going in anyway. And Rusev eliminates him.
Well, he does all the Mizzy stuff, and you can see the Miz pissed off, but when he gets chucked out, he's there arguing with the Miz, saying the same thing. That was funny.
Even that was brilliant. We the People, Jack Swagger is out at
he got a bit
22.
of a pop, which I'm surprised at.
Yeah, he did get a bit of a pop actually. I suppose it's just anyone at that point. Roman Reigns.
No, Roman.
Although the next one doesn't get a pop. Number 23 is Ryback, and he gets a CM Punk chant. The worst version of Kane is 24.
No. Before that, did you see his clothesline on Bray, where Bray sort of like only this top off went? Because I'm pretty sure after that Bray was pissed off because he sort of clotheslined him really hard, and Bray just went backwards.
Joking.
And I looked at it, I went, oh.
How long was it until Ryback was released?
A year.
Chamber.
Yeah, I fights in car, isn't he?
He's gone before 20. I think he's 2016.
Is it Mania? Because he fought Kalisto.
He fought Kalisto in the empty arena match.
Yeah.
So I think it's just after
and
that.
And he fights him again at Extreme Rules.
Oh, does he? He's probably gone
and
after
then he's gone after that.
Yeah, because he wants the main event pay, because everybody should be paid the same no matter where you are on the card.
Of course. No, the worst version. The worst version of Kane is out at 24. The ring is now starting to fill up, and it increases as Dean Ambrose is out next to.
He got a weird Ambrose chant though,
You what, so?
We want Ambrose at that
point.
point.
Yeah, well, I mean, at
People
that point, you just want anyone but Roman.
Anyone but you.
Number 26 is Titus O'Neil. Do you know the story behind this? That they were trying to see the...
They was trying to beat in, but he got too far inwards and he went...
Well, he comes too far and then he jumps back. And Vince apparently was really pissed off with him in the backstage for that, because he...
I did like the fact afterward, was it Lawler who said, did he break Santino's record? No!
Obviously he didn't. I mean, who cares?
No.
Yeah. Who cares anyway?
Too quick now. Do you want
Why say it when you can see...
Someone's going to get eliminated before they've got it soon. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Number 27 is Wade Barrett, who's in the lucky spot for winners, I believe. But JBL does drop a Paddy Power reference, which I love.
4 winners from this position. This is Barrett's 4th Royal Rumble. Boy, and the numbers are adding up well for the Bad News Barrett.
Paddy Power's going crazy with this.
He also dropped a reference early on, which he definitely got wrong, because he said that Lex Luger's the only former winner that didn't win a world title.
That hasn't won the world title.
Well, Jim Duggan never did, and neither did Big John.
That's true. So, I was thinking that, and I thought maybe, unless he means after they got the title shot.
Well, that's
still true, though, isn't it? Because Big John stood and Jim Duggan never
still
did.
Wrong.
So bollocks to you. The crowd now.
I did like the fact that every single entrant you say, nobody's one here, nobody's one here, there are 2 on here, one here, one here. And at one point Michael Cole goes, has anybody won at this one? And it was number 19. They went, yeah, Cena. And I went, yeah, he has.
Well, there you go.
2015.
The crowd now, I think, have given up because they're literally dead. Cesaro is out at 28.
They've given up because they say we want Ziggler, and I'd give up.
Yeah, well, Rusev eliminates Big E for a record 6th elimination, which is the top in this match at the moment, I believe. Then Big Show is out at 29. Big Show does the giant spot straight away. Kane and Big Show then eliminate Ryback, and then Show eliminates Swagger on his own. Ziggler is the last in. The crowd actually cheer for him.
He said outside at this point, because I think does he get like a knockout punch or a choke slam and he just rolls out? Do we?
Yeah, I think
they do the 2011 spot.
Yeah, well, he eliminates Wade Barrett, but then eats a big swing from Cesaro. Ziggler then wins the battle on the apron with Cesaro, and he's eliminated. But a KO punch from Show. And Kane and Big Show toss Dolph Ziggler out.
I do like the way they pick him up.
Well, the crowd now. That's it.
Now.
They've had enough now. They've completely had enough.
Yeah.
Ziggler's out. The crowd now completely turn. There's a KO punch by Show to Bray, and Show and Kane literally just toss out Bray Wyatt. The final 4 are Dean Ambrose and Reigns, who battle Show and Kane. Dean Ambrose is tossed out after a double team by Kane and Big Show, so the final 3 now, with bullshit chants, are Reigns, Kane and Big Show. Cole tries to make out that the only reason they're chanting bullshit is because of the eliminations to the previous people. It's not, Cole. It's the booking. No. We want refunds as Kane and Show implode. Reigns sneaks up and eliminates them both and is going to Mania. And after the bell, Kane and Show are in to beat down on Reigns. The Rock's music hits and The Rock comes out, destroys Kane and Big Show. Does get a big pop in fairness to The Rock. Hits the people's elbow to Kane and a rock bottom to Big Show. Big surprise though, as Rusev has not been eliminated. But he is 10 seconds later, and Roman Reigns is going to WrestleMania. Rock gets in, and the most awkward looking face as he holds up the arm of Roman Reigns.
That's when he realised
it's like Vince sent him out to get him over, and then realised that didn't work, so he sent out the Authority to try and take the boost.
Yeah, because
the Authority walk out and generate a bit of heat, but no one really cares. And Reigns ends the show by posing and pointing at the WrestleMania sign to a lot of boos. It was all going so well.
It was.
Sam, thoughts on that?
Well,
well,
it was okay up until Bryan got eliminated. And then you lost. That was it. Just end it there.
Yeah, just finish it there.
Just finish it.
4 people are going to WrestleMania. Stardust, God.
You morons. What are you doing?
Yeah,
that was basically that's why I say they made a worse mistake than they did last year. Because Bryan wore in it last year.
Well, I think they didn't want...
I don't think it was worse than last year.
I think they were hoping that Roman Reigns wouldn't be...
Well, people wanted Roman to win it last year, don't they, when it was him and Batista?
The year before, yeah.
The year before.
Yeah, exactly. That's just... Sometimes the predictable isn't bad. There's nothing wrong with the predictable winning the Royal Rumble as long as it's managed properly. But they gave people the idea that Bryan could potentially win this, and then did that to him. What's the point? Just don't make it like Bryan could ever win it. Put him in at number 1. Get him eliminated really early, or don't give him them any.
Or at least have him go end to end and
don't have him in it.
Don't have him in. Yeah, it could have easily been in a world title match or a different title match. Jack, thoughts on that?
I don't think it was a very good Rumble, even if you take out all the Bryan stuff. No, I think it was, the Kane and Big Show stuff, I think their time's all done anyway, so all that stuff of them throwing out all the younger stars, I don't think really worked.
The one that
didn't help. But I did like that.
I think
spot.
That was okay, because it fed into the authority thing. That's why they mind that.
It started well.
Yeah.
Bryan come out, it did well then, and then it sort of went a little bit flat. Obviously, Bryan going out killed it. But after that, even if you take Bryan out and put somebody else in and just do the same match, it just feels like it falls off anyway.
Yeah,
near the end because there ain't enough shine to the younger stars. Most of them get shit on, and the Rusev thing at the end. What's the point if he's just going to get 10 seconds?
Well, the thing that frustrated me is why you needed to do that to Bray Wyatt. Because then he just becomes like he isn't feuding with the Authority. No. So why does he get that kind of treatment? Why couldn't he be eliminated by Ambrose to give a rub to Ambrose, who didn't really get any sort of elimination? Did he? Or Rusev or someone like that? Didn't make no sense.
Well,
the Dolph Ziggler treatment was poor because of the way that it looked, but I kind of understand
because of what happened from Survivor Series. That could have done that with Ryback. Yeah, but did they do it with Ryback? They did, don't they? But early on, they moved it,
But it just annoyed me that and then the Rusev thing made no sense. What's the point in giving people hope that? Because what did they expect? Like Santino, that's has to be a face spot.
Exactly the same.
That's not a heel spot. You can't do that as a heel spot because in theory the crowd should boo that, but they knew that the crowd wouldn't boo it, so they give him that. For it to be over in 10 seconds later.
And the thing with that is, the year later, in 2016, when Reigns was the world champ and they get him number 1 to defend it, number 2, Rusev, first one out, Rusev.
No, did he?
That's what they did, yeah.
Poor Rusev, man.
Yeah, he gets.
But yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was the worst Royal Rumble, and arguably it was better than the other Royal Rumble that we reviewed, which was 1994. But
I don't know. I preferred 94.
I think so.
Mo accepted, then I prefer.
They're a lot different.
They don't even have the bollocks to just book a winner.
Yeah, well, the 94 thing.
Now they could have done the double winner here.
Well, the 94 thing was just as annoying because you had Owen Hart, who had a brilliant coming out party. It was just thrown out by Diesel. There's loads of bad booking in that, but yeah, they're in a lot between them, though. I must admit. And the show overall, Sam, thoughts on the show overall?
Wrong crowd, wrong booking for wrong crowd. If you did this in certain areas, it wouldn't be as bad. But don't do it in Philly, don't do it in Chicago, don't do it in New York, because you're going to get shit. Don't do it in England. Don't do it anywhere where
there's any crowd.
I mean, it because I'm the crowd that I'm less forgiving.
I get what
you know what I mean? Yeah. If they did it, say in California, it wouldn't have been as bad. If they did that in 2019, I don't think people would have been that bothered, would they? Really?
Yeah.
I think if you'd have booked it like
Bryan,
this, it was the way that they booked it, and the way that Bryan went out. Wouldn't
that was the thing that completely ruined.
Wouldn't you have argued though, if we're really ignoring the fact that if we're acting as if Roman Reigns doesn't give a shit whether the crowd boo him or not, he's just going to be Roman Reigns and not flinch? Wouldn't it have been better that if he'd eliminated Daniel Bryan?
Yeah.
Because at least you're owning that shit there.
Yeah,
he wants to win the fucking Rumble.
Yeah.
The fact that that sort of tried
because they had to try and get around it again at Fastlane where they had the match, but Roman beat Bryan on his own, which still got the backlash.
Well, I mean, that was stupid.
Really, they booked themselves into a corner by having Brian in it. Because, I mean, he'd just come off injury, hadn't he?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, that's the thing.
This was the start of his...
And he went, he was off injured again, and he not long after. They obviously, in fairness to them, they knew that they couldn't put the belt on him again, because they'd done that at 30, and he was injured within a month.
Yeah.
So I understand why they didn't have faith in him, but I agree with Jack, just don't book him in the match. You know, if you can't be creative enough to find a way to keep the heat in the match whilst having him eliminated, don't have him eliminated because you don't have him in the match.
I was actually thinking this, particularly with Brian, because obviously he ain't in it this year. He wore in it last year because he defended the belt day against AJ.
Yeah.
And after this, 2016 was the month before he retired. 2017 and 2018 he was retired because he come back after that. I reckon if he was in the Rumble last year and he was eliminated, people would have cheered because of how good he was as a heel. I don't think people would have been that bothered if he went in it.
Yeah, you might be right.
I would have said, look at the greatest Royal Rumble, but that's Saudi Arabia and they don't care anyway. But you know what I mean?
It's ironic in many ways because he is the only person you can seemingly see being booked with Wyatt at the moment and get a cheer still. You know what I mean? There ain't many good enough faces.
That's true.
Which is worrying me because if Jack's prediction and your prediction is true about this year's Royal Rumble, which we'll find out in 24 hours' time, I'm not sure Roman Reigns will get... even with all the shit that he's been through and the fact that he's a lot less hated now, I can see that WrestleMania being a bad one. Because I just can't see... You might have a situation again where he's got to lose again. Like he did
there's the rumour that they haven't got anything booked for Mania yet. They don't know what they're doing.
There's the rumour that they don't know what.
So normally they've got it
Tyson
set
Fury will win the Rumble.
Oh well, they've said that Tyson Fury will Cain Velasquez v Brock. I don't want to fucking see that.
Thank God. But yeah, time to wrap the show up. So I'll throw to you first. Jack, match of the night. Need we ask?
Triple threat.
Sam, want to make it 3 out of 3 because I'm going triple threat.
Well, I said it earlier.
Now this one might be slightly more difficult. Depends what you fall on. Worst match of the night?
The Rumble. Because it should be better than it should be the main thing.
Yeah, you expect more from the Rumble.
Yeah.
Sam?
The Total Divas match. Because I expected. I knew with the Rumble going back. So watching it back, you
knew it was going to disappoint.
I knew it was going to disappoint, but in all honesty, going back now, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was.
Okay.
Because I thought that they were just booing throughout, but obviously they're still done.
They got to the point though where they got fed up of their own booze.
They got fed up. No, so I thought it's like when Brian went out, that was it. They just hijacked the rest.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, they were still cheering for Mizdow. They were still cheering for Ambrose, and there was still some hope there. So it wasn't as bad as I thought. Whereas the Total Divas match, I actually went for a piss just to get away from watching it.
Did I actually watch it?
No, I did watch it. Because I went back, but I was so annoyed, I actually made myself go for a piss because it annoyed
me. You piss break watching the telly?
Yeah.
Then you can pause it.
I'm going to go
that much.
Because I agree with Jack's belief that the Royal Rumble has to be better.
That's true. I can understand that.
The Royal Rumble for me is the worst match. MVP of the night? Jack? Yeah, I think it's tough because I think there's 3 or 4.
It's probably Mizdow.
Sam?
I was going to go with Miz, actually.
Well,
because even that little spot when Mizdow come out, I don't remember that bit, and even that entertained me.
Yeah. I think Miz and Mizdow are really good options. Yeah. Those are my first 2. I'd put Brock, Bray, and Rusev as well. The booking of Bray was good until the very end. The booking of Rusev was good until the very end. So therefore I've given it to Brock because I thought the booking of Brock was good and Brock just looked like
and people were sick of him yet,
beast. And Dud of the night, a lot to choose from, Jack.
Brian,
the worst of the worst bit.
Brian getting eliminated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's got to be.
I'll just put the booking of the back half of the Rumble after 15. It was
because I was going to say it was quite entertaining up till when Brian went out. After that, even watching it, even watching it back now, you just go.
I just think it just goes to prove how it is difficult to book a Rumble where because the crowd do expect so much. They want good surprises. They want they want to be surprised by the winner. but they also want to know the winner. It is hard. Don't get me wrong, but they've got to do better than that. Like I said, you don't book yourself into a corner. You don't have to do it. And the hashtag that was trending throughout Monday,
cancel
WWE Network.
As I say,
that's happened a few times even since then, to be honest.
Well, 2 months later, you had Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn at the NXT Royal.
Oh, that was the one where he just buried Zayn. Not buried him,
he just beat the living shit
out of him.
And obviously the 4 horse women fought in the 4-way. Sasha Banks won that match. So now we take it in turns to try and rebook it better. So we'll throw to you first then, Sam.
Okay.
Heading over to you.
Okay, so I did this really quick, and looking back at it, there's a few things. I'd keep the tag title match.
Yeah.
So I did Sandow and Miz stuff. We led into that.
I agree.
I would have said probably book those in 1-on-1 at Mania, not having the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, and
That's
or if you want them in it together, have Sandow win it.
Was Miz in that then?
Yeah, that was the final 3. Miz there, Sandow and Big Show.
I know there's a limited amount of time on Manias, but God, I feel Miz should always have a match on Manias.
Yeah, exactly, because he's one of the better workers then. So keep that, because obviously it feeds into the story, the overall world title match. Don't change it, because that was probably the best thing on it. Now with the rest of the stuff, I don't mind the Ascension of the Outlaws, because obviously it fed off from the Raw reunion nonsense, and obviously keep the Ascension winning clean. But I'm kind of in line with what Jack said. Don't have it as the opener. Have probably the title matches either way. The Rumble. Yeah, so I did like that. And I would have changed the Team Divas match, but I would have made it a title match. At least the Divas title match. If you want Natalya v Nikki Bella, then you can have Paige come and save her. Get involved after if her and Brie beat her up. Paige come out, then you could have Paige v Nikki Bella for the belt at Fastlane. Then you could have AJ come back, and that leads to the tag match at Mania to come on to the normal story, the normal timeline. So that's how you can get onto that. Just don't have a tag match and cut the time. For fuck's sake. Right, we're all long
match.
It was really long. As I say, I pissed long in it, and that was long enough.
Put that on a t-shirt.
Exactly. Right, the Rumble. One thing, Brian should win it.
Yeah.
In all honesty, because I know.
Who would you book? So you do realise by booking Brian to win it, you're booking the Seth Rollins.
But I do have 2 different things. If Roman should win it, and if Brian should win it. Okay, so this is
like
Brian
choose your own story.
It is, yes. This is SmackDown v Raw. The one where you pick it. All Legends of Wrestling. When you get to a territory, and so just they'll pick the one where you have to be his fucking nephew's tag partner, and I'm still stuck on that. Bastard. I'm leading off here. Okay,
right. Claim him. I mean, I'm dead.
Exactly. Fuck you, Clay. Right, Brian should win it if this is the way you go.
Yeah.
Keep the Wyatt box. I do like that. The fact he was eliminating them all, it made him look strong.
Yeah.
Which is one of the few times that happened.
Without a shadow
up until he put the mask on. I would say the final 6 should be Brian, Roman, Ambrose, Wyatt, Kane and Show. Similar to what it was. Kane and Show would eliminate Roman and Wyatt, because I was trying to think, you want to get Wyatt really to take her. Maybe you could lead in if Kane eliminates him, lead into that somewhere.
I know what you mean. I mean, did you on that whole...
It's a bit hard at the minute with that, because, I mean, what did Kane do at Mania? Was he in that Battle Royal?
Probably. Big Show was, wasn't he?
Big Show was, he won it, but I don't know if...
Was he Kane team with the Outlaws?
No, that was the year before. That was the year before. Well, the Shield broke up because Seth's a heel.
So the Outlaws had been wrestling on the card for...
Yeah, that's what we actually spoke about this before, because when the Outlaws come out, I thought, hang on, no, I'm with the tag on this, but no, it was the year before. That was
Jesus Christ.
Exactly. The old age Outlaws lasted a year. What I would do is then have Ambrose eliminate Kane, Brian can eliminate Big Show, get rid of them, have the Authority come out and pissed off, you can have Kane and Big Show come back, not Rock, because, leave Rock alone. Leave him alone. You can do Fast and Furious or whatever he does. Have them fight each other, but then have Brian knock Ambrose out after all the melee, and all that. You can just eliminate him straight off. Like, they throw them both out after. Yeah. He can get to the running knee, Ambrose go backwards over, Brian wins.
Yeah.
So that's what you do. The crowd should go home happy then. Even if Ambrose won, crowd would go home happy. And at Mania, I would still have Seth cash in on Bryan, because obviously the Authority don't want Bryan to be the champ.
Okay.
So at least then he carries onto that.
Yeah.
With Roman, maybe have Roman v Bryan as the final ones. Again, the same thing with the Authority. They're not counting Big Show out. Maybe have them pull Bryan out instead of Roman, and then Roman can say, I don't want to win like that, and have the match at Fastlane.
Yeah.
Then have it a bit more honourable, because then maybe people will get behind Roman a little bit.
Yeah,
if you
I
want
think
Roman
there's
to
always
do
gonna
it.
be
You know
hard.
what I mean? It's going to be hard, because Roman gets a bit more stick than he should, in all honesty.
Yeah.
The company should get the stick, not Roman. That's why it's a bit hard. But if you do want Roman to win, that's how I'd do it. But really, we all know Bryan should have won. So that's how I would have rebooked it. You got two scenarios here.
Fair enough.
Fuck the undercard. Except the world title match.
But my undercard features Wade Barrett versus Dolph Ziggler in the IC title match, which would open the show. Mainly because Dolph is granted a rematch, but he would have to compete twice on the show, so it plays into the Authority trying to screw him over. You get your rematch, but it's at the Rumble where you'd have to fight twice. But Wade would retain the championship with the help of J&J Security. Next match would be Miz and Mizdow versus the Usos. Similar match. I would, even though I moaned about this in the actual show, I would have Miz hit in the skull crushing finale, which Jay would kick out of. But then when Miz comes in and hits the skull crushing finale, I would have him win, because then it would make Miz think he's better than me now. My stunt double is more of a Miz than Miz. Which would lead into, their breakup, which would be a match at Mania. It has to be. My third match, Bella's versus Paige and Natalya. I'd have the match made for the Divas title though, so whoever gets the pinfall gets the title, just to add a tiny bit of jeopardy into the match. So if Brie gets the win, she's the champion. If Paige or Natalya get the win, so you can play into the dissension of all of them, and then that can lead to a smoz at Mania. But I would get Nikki retain after miscommunication between Paige and Natalya. No issues at all with the triple threat match, so I'm not changing that. Segments wise, I would have Heyman offer Brock services to deal with Sting, because I like that segment. I would have a segment where Reigns would remind Ambrose that he eliminated him last year, and he would do it again because he can win the match by himself, so he doesn't want to be a team with Ambrose in the show. Triple H would also question whether he picked the wrong Shield member after Rollins loses, and offered Reigns the chance to join the Authority, because at this point I don't think the Authority have really got into a feud with Reigns, so it makes sense if you want to tease that. So I would have him offer the spot that they gave to Rollins, but Reigns would say he wants to win it on his own, and this would piss Triple H off, who would tell Reigns that he's going to get crushed like Daniel Bryan did. The Royal Rumble itself, so I've got all 13 numbers. Miz and Bubba Ray, number 1 and 2. Bubba would get early offense on Miz. Mizdow would be 3. Mizdow and Miz would beat down Bubba Ray. Number 4 would be Devon. Dudley's would take over. The What's Up spot could be done on the Miz, and the Mizdow could sell it as well. So that would be a funny bit. Miz would sacrifice Mizdow to save himself, and Mizdow would be out. 5 and 6 is Harper and Wyatt. Wyatt would eliminate the Field, leaving him and Harper. Same spot with Rowan at number 7, because it helped Axel and kept the match going. Same spot, Ray eliminates them both. Number 8, Papa Shango. Because if you're going to have the Boogeyman come out, at least have someone who people give a shit about. So Papa Shango, same.
I don't know, he got a little bit of a pop.
Nah, come on, Papa Shango's better than the Boogeyman.
Oh, of course he is, but people
that would
still
pop
like
the crowd more if Papa Shango came.
Well, people still want it now, don't they?
Exactly.
Really.
Bray would eliminate Papa Shango. Sin Cara eliminated straight away. 10 would be Bryan stopping the flow. Then Stardust, Ryback and Rusev. Ryback would be eliminated in the Battle of the Big Men by Rusev. Fandango and DDP, 14 and 15. DDP gets his shit in. Number 16 is Goldust. Rusev then eliminates DDP. Ziggler's 17. Stardust eliminates Goldust. It just gives you a ready-made feud if you want to have that. Makes sense. Cesaro 18 and Roman Reigns 19. Stardust is eliminated by Roman Reigns. I nearly got that wrong. That would be weird. Stardust eliminates Roman Reigns. End of it. Number 20, Kofi Kingston. 21, Adam Rose. Same spots. Adam Rose eliminated by Rusev. 22, Big E. 23, Kane. 24, Big Show. Kane and Big Show team up. Kofi and Big E are tossed out. 25, Tyson Kidd. 26, Jack Swagger. Swagger, Rusev, Big Show and Kane all sort of form an alliance and throw out Cesaro and Kidd. Zack Ryder is number 27. Number 28, Road Dogg. Number 29, Billy Gunn. So the ring now splits up and you've got Kane, Big Show, Rusev, Swagger and the New Age Outlaws versus Reigns, Ambrose, Daniel Bryan, Ryder and Ziggler. Ryder is eliminated and then Swagger is thrown out by a rogue, Bray Wyatt, who sort of plays the teaser, you know, I might be a face spot here.
Well, that's his gimmick.
Ambrose, though, in the confusion, is tossed out by Reigns, who shocks Daniel Bryan as well, because Reigns told him he would throw him out, and he does. Bryan then tries to battle them alone, but then falls to the mat. Ziggler is tossed out by Kane and Big Show, and then Bryan looks to Wyatt as his only backup in the ring. And then number 30, Sting. Sting propels down into the ring as number 30, eliminates Rusev and Road Dogg. Wyatt and Bryan stand beside him, across from Billy Gunn, Kane and Big Show. So you've got Sting, Bryan, Wyatt, Billy Gunn, Kane and Big Show in a brawl. Wyatt then turns on Daniel Bryan and throws him over the top, only for Roman Reigns then to dump out Wyatt. So Sting and Reigns are now outnumbered. But then Brock Lesnar's music hits, who runs to the ring and destroys Sting, making good on Heyman's promise that he could deal with Sting. Okay. This leaves Kane and Big Show to toss out Sting. Reigns is beaten down but fights back to lay out everyone. Then the J&J security slide in, and now it's 5-on-1. Rock's music hits, he runs out. Reigns and Rock clear out. Reigns eliminates Gunn, and Rock slides out. Reigns then eliminates Kane, but he's chokeslammed by the Big Show. Show is about to throw him out, but Rock gets in and stops him. This pisses Roman Reigns off because he wanted to win on his own, so he pushes Rock in anger. Show then charges at him, but he ducks, and Roman Reigns is crowned the winner of the Rumble. Reigns then looks at the crowd and the Rock and tells Rock to have his moment and sort of walks off pissed off, shaking his head. Rock's like, "Well, I do." And then he walks past Triple H, so the Rumble ends with Rock and Triple H staring at each other. Because, in theory, this would set up Mania, which I would have pretty much the same, but I'd have Bray versus Bryan. Because of the tease of them being friends and Bray turning. I'd have Taker versus Ambrose, because Ambrose has lost his shit after being betrayed by his friend. I'd have Rowan in the ladder match instead of Bryan.
Right.
But which that would be won by Ziggler, and eventually this would potentially tease Rock versus Triple H, Rock versus Reigns, or Brock versus Sting in the future. So
you just want to see Sting get killed, don't you, by Brock?
So that's my
who booked that Russo? How many fucking run-ins do you want in the Rumble?
You've got to, because you've got to have it overbooked. It's at Philly. I was going to have Justin.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking when you did that. I thought it's just because it's ECW country, exactly. Really, so fair enough.
Book it like an NWA show.
My first match is the tag match. I'd keep Miz and Mizdow versus the Usos for the tag.
Yep.
I'd keep that and I'd have the Usos go over. Nothing really changes. Obviously, I wouldn't have the skull-crushing finale spot.
Yep.
The second match is a Rumble qualifier. It's Roman versus Kane. Roman's got to earn his spot in the Royal Rumble, and obviously he would win. The third match is the Divas title match. It's Nikki Bella with Brie Bella versus Natalya with Paige.
Okay.
Nikki would retain, and I would tease a match with Paige versus Nikki at the WrestleMania, because I think that's the way it should have gone.
Yeah.
The WWE title triple threat.
Mania, AJ just found it in there. Really, to me. It was. When did it go? Retire?
Around
there. The WWE title triple threat match I would keep the same. I would have Brock win, obviously. I wouldn't change anything about that. And then the Royal Rumble, I would have Luke Harper, Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt, Big Show, and Daniel Bryan as the 5 in. Number 30 would hit, and it would be Curtis Axel. But you would show him beaten up backstage by Kane, and you're thinking Kane's going to be number 30, but outcut for number 30 is Triple H. He's doing his own bidding because he's sick of Kane not doing it.
Bloody hell, Kane.
Well, he lost it, so you think he's Kane, but it's actually Triple H. So Triple H would come in, you'd have Harper and Big Show eliminated by Roman and Bryan, given the hope spot. Then you'd have Triple H and Wyatt team up and take down Roman and Bryan, have them in the ring standing tall together, but Triple H would eliminate Wyatt.
Yeah.
Then he'd stand over Roman and Bryan, which is then when the lights would go out, and then Sting would be in the ring. He would eliminate Triple H and then leave. So obviously you give Triple H he's now preoccupied with Sting.
Yep.
Then you obviously have Roman and Bryan left to them to get to the feet and do the stare off and all that stuff, and you can point at the sign, and then they'd battle, blah blah blah, and then Bryan would end up being the victor because he has to be. But at WrestleMania you would snatch the hope away, obviously, by having Seth cash in. And then the year after would be Seth v Bryan, but Bryan would obviously get injured, and I would lead it all up to the Mania after being Seth, Roman and Dean Ambrose in the Triple Threat.
Good rebooking.
What would you do with Brock?
I was going to say, Brock would be in that match, wouldn't he? Bryan and versus Brock.
Bryan.
Right, okay.
What?
Yeah,
so,
if you listened.
So are you saying that you would never have a situation where you would crown Reigns? Was this far too early?
Not at this point. It would have been at the Mania after.
Okay. Well, there you go. So that is our rebookings. But if you could have done it better, let us know on our website, which is bettercallcreative.com, or over on our Twitter page, which is @BCCPod, or Facebook, which is facebook.com/BCCPod. And we round out the episode, as we always do now, with a fantasy card, which I realised after setting the challenge that it was a rather difficult challenge, as the card itself would be made up by Royal Rumble winners that should have won, or Raw Runners non-winners that should have actually won it in that year. Jack, I believe you've got a card for us, so if you want to go first and run us through your card.
Right, match 1 is Daniel Bryan 15.
Yeah.
Versus Bret Hart 97 instead of Austin, because it should have been Bret, because it would have led to Bret v Shawn 2, but obviously then he loses his smile and all that. So he can
that was the plan anyway, wore it.
It was the plan.
Match 2 is this one. He wore it actually in it, but he should have won it. Is Ted DiBiase 1988.
Yep.
Because he should have won it if he's going to Mania and getting to the main event.
I agree.
Versus Lex Luger 1994, because he should have won it on his own instead of Bret.
Controversial for people.
That's controversial.
Yeah,
Luger's alright. Well, considering, I think it was.
Bret should have fought Owen, Luger should have fought
Crush.
Luger Yoko, and then you can build.
Don't search for Crush on the network. He did that yesterday. It crashed. Yeah, it crashed. It broke it. You call watch Crush.
Maybe it thought that you'd search for Crash instead of Crush.
Yeah.
I'll accept that.
Luger and then turn me alone.
No, I think it's reasonable. I think it's a reasonable
match
choice.
Number 3 is Big Show 2000, because if you're going to go into the Fatal 4-Way, it's got to be a heel who wins it.
See,
with Rock touching the floor.
Retconning Rock out of the one that he definitely should have won.
Well,
I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean because of the way that you booked it.
Turned into the Fatal 4-Way. If you're going to do that, I've had
the Big Show.
Big Show's defeated, but then Rock, obviously, and then you build it to the main.
Yeah. Although, did he win the Rumble in 2000? Who knows?
I don't know. Well,
I'm confused because he went to Mania.
Even on the true story of the Rumble, I watched even Michael Eisner saying, "Well, mistakes happen." Basically saying, "Rock, what the fuck?"
Oh, they didn't actually mean it then.
No, he shouldn't. His feet shouldn't have it, but it's clear that they did. It's similar with the Savage thing in '92. It's like that. So don't do that.
Versus the Undertaker in 08.
Think he should have won in 08?
Cena won it in 08.
It was right. Yeah, that was when Cena come out last. Was Taker in it?
He was number 1.
Who eliminated Taker then?
Because him and Shawn won it earlier.
Yeah, that went through a bit, and then Shawn eliminated Taker, but then Kennedy eliminated Shawn, and then Taker leg dropped Snitsky through a table. Because he'd eliminated Snitsky.
Yeah.
Match number 4 is Austin 99 instead of Vince versus John Cena 2005 instead of Batista.
Okay.
Because I'd have had Cena, because he just wins a tournament anyway, and I think you can get round the Batista thing without him having to win the Rumble.
Even though he would have to have fought, because it did lead to the Triple H.
It led to the
thumbs
Triple H.
down
He would have
spot,
fought
didn't
him anyway, but I think it serves better to have Cena win it because he was a bit lower.
I get what you mean, yeah,
so
it
it's a bit of a
serves
run
the
through.
high.
Match 5 is Jericho 2012, when he's the end of the world as you know it.
Yeah.
And then
Sheamus,
won it for some reason, versus Jericho 2017. Instead of Mr. Randy Orton, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Even then, oh, that was Owens, was it?
Yeah, because I was building up for him with
yeah.
Owens and the Festival of Friendship after. Because I think that's what initially was the plan, wasn't it?
Jericho should definitely win 2012.
Should have
There's
been-
no
it
argument
should have
on
been
that.
it.
2017.
What was Sheamus doing? Excuse me, leading up to 2012, the Rumble. What was he doing?
He lost to Big Show, then ended the belt, and then it ended up Brian.
I thought that was at the end after he'd beat Bryan at Mania. He kept it and then lost it to Show at Mania.
I don't know.
Sorry, at Hell in the Cell, because Big
Who
Show
did he
then
beat
lost
at
it to
Mania?
Del Rio,
Brian.
which they did the Last Man Standing on
The minute
SmackDown.
thing. That was the Rumble.
That was the quick minute.
That was the quick one, but obviously Sheamus then went on as the run. Then feuded with Del Rio a bit, then lost it to Big Show, then Big Show feuded with Del Rio, who lost it to 2013, I think that's the thing where he threw it
through Walter now.
Yeah.
And then the main event is Hulk Hogan 89 versus Mr. Perfect 1990.
So you'd have retconned.
There's no point Big John Studd winning it, is there? What's the point? He just becomes a ref.
Who eliminated Hogan in that? Was it the powers of the Twin Towers?
And Savage go out together, don't they?
Is that
Who eliminates the Akeem?
With the 89, Savage and Bad News Brown them over the ropes. Hogan knocks them both out. You have the argument with Savage and Hogan, but then Hogan's eliminated by Bossman and Akeem. Hogan then eliminates Bossman when Brutus comes out.
It would have made more sense if Hogan had won it. I'm annoyed that it's not actually on mine, because that is one that I can argue we should have rebooked better. Yeah, well, there you go. My fantasy card, because I wasn't creative enough to come up with 6 matches, is a Royal Rumble. So number 1 entrant in the Royal Rumble is Daniel Bryan from 2014 against number 2, Mr. Perfect from 1990. Agreeing with Jack, controversially, number 3, Lex Luger from 1994, because what's the point in spending a whole year giving a man a bus and then not giving him the... He's got a bus!
Just having lose at Rainier, it could come out.
Yep. Somewhat controversial, maybe. Number 4, Wade Barrett from 2011, because I felt he was probably the one of the hottest acts that they had at the time. And number 5 is Jericho from 2012, which I think is the biggest one of all of them.
Yeah.
Number 6 would be Andre the Giant from 1988, because if you're going to have this event and you've created a Royal Rumble, why didn't Andre the Giant win the Royal Rumble? I mean, that was...
They just did the contract signing.
I know, but it was written for Andre the Giant to win it. Number 7 would be Ted DiBiase from 1989. Because he bought himself into the last
number
spot.
30, yeah, he would have made
But I
sense.
must admit, Jack, having thought about it, you're probably right on that. Hogan probably should have won it. 1997, Undertaker, I would have win it, because I think he was obviously getting hot at that point in 1997, and if you ain't going to have Brett, you might as well have Undertaker. And final entrant, Randy Orton from 2006, because the Rey Mysterio one just annoyed the shit out of me, because they just literally destroyed Rey Mysterio. And winning it all, I'll give it Andre the Giant, 1988.
Right.
Sam?
Right, mine is exactly the same as Ben, because I did this not that long ago. So my number 1 would be 1997, Brett. Because I think he should have done, really, in all honesty.
Not Cybernetico.
No, not Cybernetico. Or Fearoth, Jack's boy. Or Mil Mascaris, even though he did eliminate himself. And number 2, 2014, CM Punk.
Oh, you would have him over Batista.
Yeah.
So you would have him
had him
for Orton.
Yeah, because obviously they were still doing the authority thing with him. So really, they should have done that instead of the Triple H nonsense. Would have made sense.
Yeah, it probably would have made more sense.
You know, so I think that if you're going to give him that, and he might have stayed. Yeah, he'd have probably got grumpy and went afterwards, but at least you'd kept him a little bit and kept him chance away for 6 years. Number 3 would be Jericho 2012, because I think we've already said this.
Gotta be the worst one, that.
Yeah. Number 4, this one might be different. Austin 99.
Jack said that.
Yeah. Austin 99, because yes, I know with Vince, but if I'm going to take 97 away from him, I still think he should win the 3. He should win the most. So maybe do 98, 99, no, he wore it 2001. So, you know, give him that. At least maybe have Rock come out, try and cost him, and he knocks out Vince. Because then you could start the little bit of a friction between the two.
I think the thing that annoys a lot of wrestling fans as well is when you waste a Rumble. So you have, like, Vince win it, and then Vince
does nothing. He loses it to Austin. Because they did the thing where he said, I'm not going to fight Rock for the belt. And then he goes, well, he goes to the runner-up. Well, what if that runner-up was D'Lo? Goes to D'Lo. Golga gets it. You know, that's what it could have been. And the fact that they just pissed off for ages.
Yeah,
but
no,
it was Russo, or that's just the way it was back then. Number 5 would be Ted in 89. I was thinking about Savage, because he was the world champ, and obviously then he didn't mean as much. But I was thinking, well, it would have made Ted a bit more of a star, and it would have made him a main eventer for a bit longer by buying it, and then he could say, well, money's bought me this. So, you know, he bought me the world belt, even though he got took off. He's bought that. He can buy anything, so... Yeah, no, him. And Big John Studd, he was gone within a couple of months, and he was a ref at Mania. He's the only one who's won a Rumble and become a ref. Now that's what you want, JBL, as a star. Not the Luger one. Big John Studd won it and become a ref. Right, number 6 would be Daniel Bryan 2015, for obvious reasons. Number 7, now I've got 2 here. I've got Jericho or Wyatt. Because of what they did with Bray Wyatt after, you could have Orton win the Elimination Chamber after and still do that whole thing after. But again, the first thought was, well, Jericho should have won it because of what they was doing with Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
So that's number 7. Number 8 is 2016 Dean Ambrose, because if you listen to the Crew when it was Triple H and Ambrose was hot then. And obviously, if you want to get the belt off Roman, you could have Ambrose v Roman.
Did he fight Brock at that year's match?
Yeah, that's the one, and it would have got him away from that shite.
It might have given you more nuance to that feud as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, if at the very least, then they're fighting over a belt.
Yeah, exactly. So the authority say we want to get this belt off you. So here's Brock.
Yeah.
And I know if Brock won, that would still piss them off, but you know that Mania was fucked anyway. Because everybody was injured, wasn't they?
Yeah.
And number 9, this is the one I had to write down really late, was 2011. And I've put CM Punk in, because obviously this was just before the Summer of Punk, he was the Nexus, so you could do something with that. Maybe even with Randy, you still have that match with Randy Orton, so then you could build on that in 2014 if Punk wins it.
Yeah.
So you could, link that, and build in storylines 3 years between.
Makes sense.
So, and I was thinking, well, who else? I was thinking, well, Cena, because you've got The Miz, but The Miz eliminating, that still works into that. I was thinking Christian, but was he injured at this point? Because he wore in it. And I tried to go for people who was actually in the Rumble. That's why for 14 I'd put Bryan. That's why I had Punk, because he was in it, so that's what I tried to do.
Makes sense.
But the winner probably have to be Austin. Just because.
1990.
1990 Austin.
But there,
work for me, brother.
There you go. So that is our fantasy cards done. But if we missed any Rumble winners or Rumble losers who should have been winners, do let us know again at our website, betcallcreative.com, or our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/BCCpod, or at Twitter at BCCpod there. And that is episode 29 in the books. But for episode 30, it is a poll-winning episode, as we will be reviewing the career of one Al Snow, as we check out some of his more notorious gimmicks of the past. So do join us then. But as ever, for today's episode, I have been joined to my left by Sam Chance saying
goodbye,
and by to my right by Jack Chance saying
goodbye.
Goodbye, folks. See you again soon.